Harihi Om.
Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam
Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam. Sorry,
Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarva Vighnopashantaye
Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye
Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnisham
Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnisham
Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadam Upasmahe
Anekadantam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe
Gnananandamayam Devam
Jnananandamayam Devam
Nirmalaspatikakrutim
Nirmalaspatikakrutim
Adharam Sarva Vidyanam
Adharam Sarva Vidyanam
Ayagrivam Upasmahe
Ayagrivam Upasmahe
Krishnam Kamalapatraksham
Krishnam Kamalapatraksham
Punyasravanakirtanam
Punyashravanakirtanam
Vasudevam Jagadyonim
Vasudevam Jagatyonim
Naumi Narayanam Harim
Naumi Narayanam Harim
Namostute Vyasa Visala Buddhe
Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe
Fullara Patranetra
Ullarabindaya Yatapatra Netra
Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha
Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha
Prajwalito Gnanamaya Pradipaha
Prajvalito Jnanadipa Pradipaha. Sorry.
Gnanamaya Pradipaha.
Jnanamaya Pradipaha.
So we are now going on to know about the Bhagavatam, a very important Purana text, a Mahapurana, but focusing only upon the power of Bhagavan Krishna, the various Leelas of Bhagavan Krishna, and which has really made the mind of Vyasa Bhagavan become peaceful. You know that Vyasa himself that he lost peace of mind in spite of his doing such a huge amount of work for 18 Puranas, Mahabharata, and so on, but he has no peace of mind at all. So as a result, he wanted to get a peace just like the Valmiki Maharshi, and in that context, that Narada Maharshi told him, yes, you have not helped anybody with your work. You have made people to grow hopeless in their own respective gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas are prosperous. So like that it happened. And now I am going to teach you Bhagavatam, where after you will get freedom. And therefore Bhagavatam has been written, and this Bhagavatam was learned by by the Sukha Maharshi, and Sukha Maharshi had the opportunity of narrating that Bhagavatam then to Parikshit Maharaja in 7 days and made him to be beautifully benefited because of the Bhagavata Sravanam, because of the Purana Sravanam, and that Puranam, which contained 18,000 slokas, has been reduced or minimized into 700 slokas by Medavaram Subramanya Sastri Garu, and we are now trying to note some salient ideas and episodes from Bhagavatam, and that will help us. So in this context, we have come to the Bhagavatam sloka-wise to the speech of Prahlada coming in the 7th skandam, because Prahlada was responsible to get moksham to his father, who remained very much detrimental to all people. So Narsimha was requisitioned, because nobody knows in what avatara form the Mahavishnu should come to resolve the crisis that happens in the world. So this time, the Hiranyakasipu happened to be a very toughest fellow, because the way that Hiranyakasipu did the penance was so much distinguished that Brahmadeva gave him first rank and given him the compliment that nobody did penance as hard as you did it. So first of all, he made Hiranyakasipu look very much normal with all strength and beauty and splendor and all that. Then he asked, what do you want? Then Hiranyakasipu asked some boons, and he could not find a person in the creation, in his own creation, Brahmadeva. So he wanted Vishnu to interfere, outsourcing the help. Then Vishnu came out in the form of Narasimha and he finished him, and that everybody knows it. Afterwards, Prahlada came forward and he showed the enemy of Hiranyakasipu for a fight. And Hiranyakasipu was really friendly with Vishnu, but he happened to kill that. Vishnu killed his brother whom he loved. Therefore, highly affectionate to his brother Hiranyaksha, he wanted to kill and make Trupti for his brother deceased. So, but for that he had a lot of trouble and all that. So now we are trying to note about Prahlada's speech, and wherein he is trying to advise all his colleagues, classmates, small boy. And I think we are in the 264 sloka. So Rajeswar and I forgot to forward that e-copy to you, and I'll do it afterwards. But today you just be a witness, you are a srota. And
sure, tapakunda.
So that you will understand more, and afterwards you can have the text with you when I forward it. But I'm just searching for that. I'm not getting it now. Yes.
Sure, thank you.
Saraswati, which slokam we are now? I think 264.
266.
Very good. So 264 and 65 slokas, he said that everybody is really bad. Durapurena kamena mohena cha mahiyasa baliyasa seshangruhesha saktasya pramattasya yatihi pasyadvam mativaivatyam gnātīnām naha kutumbinām sreyaha abhighāta adaha yasadihata anusmrutam anusamsritam. So look, the Rala says, look at our own people. They were all oppressed by the durapurena kamena. The kama or disease or desire is durapura. Definitely difficult to get them fulfilled. And also because of baliyasa mohena, because of very powerful influencing moha. So kama and moha made all people to get into the problem. And therefore in 265 it tells that Mativaivatyam Gnātīnām Naha Kutumbinām Pasyadvam. You please check the Mativaivatyam, that is the last balance of their mind, and they suffered not getting the Sreyas or Moksham. They have destroyed, though they did a lot of work to get emancipation, but still they could not get it because Sreya Abhighatat. See, and they have got their Sreyas being Abhighata, means removed, destroyed, ruined. And also Ayasa, they had got lot of ayasa in order to get their desires fulfilled, but they stopped remembering the Vishnu. Now, please repeat. Nana yonishu garbhadishu, Nana yonishu garbhadishu,
Nana yonishu garbhadishu, Nana yonishu garbhadishu,
avasthasu sadapadam,
Avastasu sadapadam, Avastasu sadapadam,
kayamapatanam bibhratu,
Kayamapatanam vibrato, Kayamapatanam vibrato,
kam vindetu,
Kam vindetu, Kam vindetu,
kam svaradapi,
Cham Swaradapi, Sam Swaradapi,
kim dushtam karma,
Kim Dushtam Karma, Kim Dushtam Karma,
kim swasti,
Kim Swasti, Kim Swasti,
yataha kalaha kriyapanaha,
Yataha Kalaha Kriyapanaha, Yataha Kalaha Kriyapanaha,
yena chanehi tasyantam,
Yena Shanehi Tasyantam, Yena Shanehi Tasyantam,
maya janma satairapi.
Naya Janma Shatairapi, Naya Janma Shatairapi.
Bhagavatam gives you the truth that if you are not making any effort, Prahalada says, to stop the continuation of the birth, rebirth in between Maranam. See, Janma, Jara, and Mrityu. These are the three sequences that constantly take place. And because of that, what are we doing? That Prahalada tells, Nana yonishu garbhadishu avasthasu sadapadam. See, we're always facing crisis, calamity, problems, difficulties, unhappiness, taking birth in garbhas belonging to different creatures. Not necessary you should be born in human source. You may be animal, you may be a lion, you may be elephant, you may be a deer. ಯಾವ ಯೋನಿದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಯೋನಿలో పుట్టుతామో మనకు తెలియదు. That's why it is called Nana Yonishu. So what would be the, and also Garbhadishu. Garbha is the pregnancy. Everybody has got to live in the dark chambers. How long? We don't know. For example, at least in human birth, a person can, the baby can live only 9 months in the mother's womb. If at all, it extends to 10 months. But generally, before around 9th month, the baby is delivered in humans. But the Gajagarbham, they call it. The elephant is the one who bears the pregnancy for a long time. Saraswati Telusa and what is the Gajagarbham period?
No, sir, I don't know.
Anu, Shivlingaya, how long the pregnancy of the elephant goes? తెలియదంటారు కదా?
Maybe 3 years, sir. 3 years.
No, it's a guessing, but nobody can bear for 3 years, that no female. So I think it is 12 months. Gajagarbham ante 12 నెలలు ఉంటుంది గజం. The elephant will take 12 months pregnancy. But otherwise, అన్నిటికీ తక్కువ pregnancy periods ఉంటాయి. But that's a very difficult period for any woman, for any female, whether animal or inanimal. So that's why he says, avasthasu garbhadishu. Garbhadi ante appudu ee garbhamu anedi chaala kashtaమైన పని. That's why garbhavasamu anedi chaala kashtam. But fortunately, Paramatma will make us instantaneously forget all that type of time that we spent in the mother's womb, the dark chambers. And when once we get the pranam, You see, pranaya tasmai, pranam is the Paramatma Vishnu. Vishnu will share his pranam into the beings whom he wants to be born again. That's why yo anta pravisya mama vacham imam prasuptam sanjeevayati shaktidhara akhila shaktidhara swadhamnam pranannamo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. So the prarthana in Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavata is that pranaya namaha bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. What is that pranam? And even Vishnu Sahasranamam, you get another name for Vishnu as Pranaha. You remember Vaikuntha Purusha Pranaha Vasavo Vaikuntha Purusha Pranaha Pranado Vasavanujaha anta. అంటే ఆయన ప్రాణము అటువంటి ప్రాణాన్ని ఇంకొకరు ఇచ్చే శక్తి కలిగేవాడు కూడా మహాపురుషుడు. అది నారాయణ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ ఎ లైఫ్ బ్రెతింగ్, ఆల్సో లైఫ్ ప్రొవైడింగ్. సజ అజాయమానో బహుధా విజాయతే. He is there as a pranam. He will not be born, but he will cause many people to be born. Leela kalpita brahmanda mandalaha akhilanda koti brahmanda nayakaha. So when you look at these names or compliments to Paramatma, you see that akhilanda koti brahmanda nayaka. Nayaka means the leader who will be responsible for a number of functions. And also those people born, animate, inanimate, everything that is there in the Prakriti. And that's why it's Akhilanda, Akhila Anda Koti. So Koti, so much is there, so much. In that, he is the Nayaka. And what is Nayaka means? He's a Prana, he's a leader, he's a leader. So that Prana, and not only is a Prana, but he is called as a Pranada. Therefore, Pranaya Tasmai, Pranada Tasmai Purushaya Namaha Tubhyam. So here, Yoni andre source. See, the source we don't know. There are, they say, people, there is always the creation coming into being. Vayuja, Andaja, Svedaja, Jalaja. So from water, from sweat, from eyes, from everything, there is the creation coming out. For example, this Madhu Kaitava Rakshasas in Durga Saptasati is told that they are coming from the Kivi Mala or Srotra Mala of Vishnu. Even the Mala, because they are Madhu, they are the twins born. Madhu from the Kivi Mala or the ear wax, therefore they became very much. And because they are also children of Vishnu, what was the atrocity that this Madhukaitava Rakshasas, they wanted to grab Brahmadeva and eat him out. After all, Brahma is the brother, if at all. So there was that kind of, so whoever, if there is a quarrel among the brothers, they are not brothers, but they are Rakshasas. But Rakshasa Vritti should be subdued, and Manava Vritti should grow. Then only they will be the Manava brothers. Otherwise, the Rakshasa brothers are always in danger. Look, for example, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishana. There are three lokas. So Kumbhakarna, so let us not talk all that. So when you talk about the word Garbha, Adi, Yoni, Adi. So the Adi Shabda is important because etc. Adi means etc. We cannot name them. 1 minute. హలో అండి, నేను రాముకి ఇస్తాను క్లాస్లోనూ, తర్వాత నేను మాట్లాడతాను. ఒక్క నిమిషం, రాము ఉంటే ఇస్తాను. లలిత, లక్ష్మి, హలో.
Yeah, ఉన్నాం లైన్ లో ఉన్నాం, చెప్పండి. Please.
So
Thank you.
recording goes. So here, Nana Yonishu Garbhadishu annappudu, we have to understand that we are not guaranteed that if you leave the body, you will get only human body or anything. Therefore, Nana Yonishu Garbhadishu, and what are the Garbha? It's Avastha. Garbhavastha, Garbhavasa, Garbhashoka, and Garbha. That's why Shankaracharya in Sivananda Sivaparasa Kshamapana Stotra, which you have seen in the lecture by our Aswath ji last time, he spoke about the Aparatha Kshamapana Stotras, and there said the very opening stanza of that is Adau Karma Prasangat Kalayati Matrukuchau Sthitesmin. Anta he begins. So Karma Prasangat Matrukuchau Sthitaha. Ee Matrukuchi need not be only human kuchi. It could be any kuchi or any womb. Therefore, Prahlada is telling Garbhadishu Nana Yonishu. Nana means several, variety. So there is a variety of sources where from the birth will take place. But birth is apadam, sadapadam means birth is having the death. Jatasya maranam dhruvam. Krishna said in Gita, there is no escape. If you are born, be ready to get out. Yesterday, we have a bereavement that our Kendra provider, the accommodation provider for 25 years. Their house they gave in JP Nagar 206, 12th class. She passed away. It is in her name. She spent her retirement amount and purchased that house in Bengaluru. Though they are living in the outside Bengaluru, they are never residents of Bengaluru, Nellore and Kalpakam and all that. They bought a house and they gave that house for our Kendra activity, which we continued for long years. So many homas, so many lectures, so many time, so many. That lady gets a lot of punyam now because she died on Saturday at 4:15 and on a very auspicious day, and Dwadasi, which is very dear to Vishnu. And on a Dwadasi day, she passed away. And of course, she had cancer, but she suffered cancer for 3-4 years and sustained it. 3 days she suffered and disappeared. Her 2 children, son and daughter, both of them are doctors. They didn't admit her in the hospital, but they maintained her in the house itself with all assistance. But she felt it. So Paramatma wanted her, she went away. But look at her, who will give the house so freely? They used to pay the current charges and also water charges. That's important. And also repair charges of the house, painting and repairers and when what. So many, there's a history by itself for 25 years. So such a lady passes away peacefully yesterday, Sita Devi, and we had really Shanti for her and we just projected. So that's why Nana Yonishu Garbhadishu Avasthasu Sadapadam. Apada, nobody. That's why we make a prayer to Lord Rama. Apadam, Apahartaram, Dataram, Sarvasampadam. Sampada is good birth. If you die, you should die for a good work. That's what even Krishna in Gita says. See, Vasam Sijirnani Yatha Vihaya. Naro grunhati aparani dehe. So when once the body is tired of being help for you to achieve prosperity and growth and distinctions in spiritually, mundane and super mundane, if you ignore the super mundane activity and spirituality in body, we are at great loss. Therefore, see, wonderful. But many, many people, thousands and thousands of people, do not much bother about the value of the body that we have been given. They just while away the body so body is for bhoga and yoga and roga, which Shankaracharya says. So he says, Bhogaratova, Yogaratova, Yovakova Bhava. Bhoga also implies Roga too. So thereby the Nana Yonishu, and Yoni means Avastha. Avastha is status. మీ అవస్థ ఏమండి అని అడుగుతాం. ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్లో స్టేటస్ అంటాం, మనకు అర్థం కాదు. when you ask, ఏ అవస్థలో ఉన్నారు? నిద్రావస్థలో ఉన్నారా, భోజనావస్థలో ఉన్నారా, యోగా అవస్థలో ఉన్నారా? సో అవస్థ is the posture, and that posture is important for yoga. So they say in yoga, you sukhasinaha antaru. You must take a seat which is very much comfortable for you to proceed in yoga. So, and apada, sadapada means it is always liable for that apadas. And what do you do? What do you do? Kayam apatanam bibhratu. See, apatanam kayam. Enta bagundi chusara? How much truth is there in that? Apatanam is any day. Any day is good day to fall, to make the body fall down. So it's a kayam means after all it's a body. It is some anatomical structure. And that we have got to bear. We bear our body, we hold the body, and afterwards, even if you are an emperor, what are you going to get ultimately? The mrityu will not give any consideration for the kind of life that people live upon the earth. Who is a rich man, is a poor man, he's an emperor, he is this, that. No, 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 no. Shiva became the guardian of the Smashana just to want to meet all people. With distinction, without distinction, they have to come to him only ultimately. Therefore, he became a guard of the Samsanam. Anyway, so Kayam Apatanam Bibhratu Kam Kim Vindet Sham. Sham means Shanti. Even if you are emperor, Shanti is something which may not come to you, but you should always aim at getting Shanti. And therefore, now he refers to that. So I can keep on talking about Kim. So what is that? Shamno, Mitra. Sham is Shanti and Sukham, happiness. And in the next slokam, Kim dushtam karma, Kim swasti karma, yataha kalaha kriyapanaha, yena kshanehi tasya antam neyat Janma Setairapi. What a beautiful questioning he books. What is bad? Kim dushtam karma. What is that karma which will be bad? Manam karmal chestune untamu, but who is going to qualify the karmas? We think that nen punya karmane chestunnanu anukuntam, but it may not be punya karma in the eyes of gurus. Always we live in doubt. That's why Arjuna had doubts and doubts and doubts. So Gita came up, Krishna Gita came up. So Kim Dushtam Karma. Arjuna felt that Dushta Karma is to kill all the enemies in the war. But Krishna said, no boy, it is not Dushta Karma, it's a Kshatriya Karma and it's a Kshatriya Dharma Karma. So he put him to war. But according to Paramatma, he said, for dharma acharana, dushtam, aishtam is not that. So dushtam karma kim, and also swasti karma kim. Kim dharmam, kim adharmam, iti munayaha mumuhu. Krishna said in Gita, even the munis are confused to determine which is dharma, which is adharma. For example, in Mahabharata, when that small boy meets that lady, Kausika goes and asks that lady, a Pativrata delayed to serve, to give alms to that boy because she was attending upon her husband. And that boy, before coming for alms to her house, he killed a crane with his angry looks. And after that, he came for begging. Because angry, he came to alms. Bhiksha kosam vastadu. Then that lady delayed and he was looking with same angry looks upon her because she delayed serving the alms to him. Then she understood. Kausika boy, I am not the crane to be killed by your angry looks. I am a pativrata. I delayed because I cannot stop in the middle serving my husband. Now that I have served fully to my husband the food, I am coming to you. So don't grow angry, and it has no meaning. That thing will do for me because I am pativrata. Then the boy realized that what he is doing is always not good. Then he asked, I want to know what is dharmam, what is that? Adharmam, pativratya dharmam ante enti and adugutar. Then that lady, you know the story, tells that there is one person, you go to the village by name Dharmavyadha, he will be a big preacher for you to talk about the real dharma. When he goes to that Dharmavyadha, he finds him to be a butcher. And he just wondered how at all this lady directed me to go to a butcher to know dharma, etc. Anyway, that's why kim dharmam, kim adharmam iti munayaha mamuhu. Same way, here our Vyasa Maharshi, rather the Prahlada says, kim dushtam kirma, kim swasti karma, and whatever it is, karma is meant for kalaha kriyapanaha. Kriyapanaha means to spend time. If we are given 100 years of life, we are trying to spend the 100 years of life, don't know what manner it is, but we are spending. Kalahara, kalam is haranam. Kalaha gacchati, kridati ayuhu. Shankaracharya says, you can't stop kalam, but you can stop your births at all. That's what Krishna is, that Prahalada or Krishna is telling. Kala kriyapanam is automatic. The time will be keeping on flowing. But what is that which will make your janma to stop? When are you going to build a dam for your janma? You build a dam. Don't build bridges for your birth. Anjaneya built bridges. But we have to build dams to our janmas. Like that, yena tasya antam chanehi. Yena chanehi antam neyat. What is the measure through which you are able to put an end instantaneously for the cycle of birth and rebirth? And is it, if at all we are not at all attending to our janma duty, janma sanctity and janma goals, janma setairapi antam neyat katham. How are we going to put a stop to the births that we are all taking? See, if you say I'm 80, I'm 20 or 30 or 40, what is going on? Your stipulated period is getting reduced. Gadiyaarambuna takku takkumani kottu vegambu vembadi ayushyamulu okkatokkatiga diggun sopanambulun diggun. గడియారంలో పెండులం కొట్టుకుంటూ ఉంటే మన ఆయుస్సు కూడా తగ్గుతూ ఉంటుంది. అట్లా జన్మ శతైరపి అంతం నేయాద్. సో Prahlada is teaching all people, Aya, we have to put an end to our janma. Therefore, he says that ko gruheshu, next slokam, please repeat, 268, ko gruheshu puman saktaha.
को गृहेषु पुमान् सक्तः को गृहेषु पुमान् सक्तः
पुमान् सक्तम् आत्मानम् अजितेन्द्रियः
पुमान् सक्तम् आत्मानम् अजेन्द्रियः
अजितेन्द्रियः
अजितेन्द्रियः
स्नेहपाशैर्दृढैर्बद्धः
स्नेहपाशैर्दृढैर्बद्धः स्नेहपाशैर्दृढैर्बद्धः
दृढैर्बद्धमुत्सहेत
दृढैर्बद्धमुत्सहेत दृढैर्बद्धं मुत्सयेत.
Vimochitum.
Vimochitum.
Konvartha Trishnam.
Konvartat trushnam. Konvartat trushnam.
Visrujet pranebhyopi gariyasim.
Visrujet pranebhyopi gariyasim. Visrujet pranebhyopi gariyasim.
Yam krinatya subhihi.
Yam krinatya subhihi. Yam krinatya subhihi.
Preshthet tat karma
Preshtet
preshthet taskarasyeva sevako vaniku.
preshtet
Preshthet taskaraha sevako vaniku.
preshtes taskarah sevako vanika. Prestes taskarah sevako vanika.
So this is really a problem. Even if Paramatma is there, want to help you, you should act in a way that you help the God to help you. If you help those who want to help you, it will be easy for them. If you are stubborn and if you don't help them, they cannot take any interest to protect you. That's exactly the word. He says that Gruheshu kaha puman Gruheshu saktam. Which will be the fellow who would be ready to protect a person who is attached to his own house, to his own family, to his own mundane life, to his own profession. And then Gruheshu Saktaha, interested in making more and more property, making more and more wealth, making all these things. And when you are having that kind of Gruha Sakti, that means Gruha is a comfort. Gruha is a luxury. So people keep on increasing the number of houses, number of property assets. Therefore, in that instance, what is he? Ajitendriyaha. He is not putting to the attractions of his own indriyas. All his jnanendriyas and karmendriyas are influencing the boy, the person, too much. Not only that, sneha pasaihi baddhaha. And moreover, he cannot leave them easily. Tyaga buddhi does not come. When there is sneha too much, the tyaga is dropped. When there is no tyaga, you will not get it. Look for us, our Sita Devi. She made a tyaga of the whole building. They can get every month a lot of rupees as rent or given lease for some huge amount. But they never entertained that idea at all. They were paying the taxes also of the building and all. So that is what we call, there was no sneha pasha which bound them at any time for the past 25 years until they live. And that must be the feeling that people must develop. And it is a very hard job because drudhaihi baddham, they always get at one time or the other attachment to their property. Today you don't want, after 5 years, oh, I left it like that. I'm not getting any, it is not productive for me. I must get అనేటువంటి ఐడియాస్ తప్పకుండా జనరల్కి వస్తేనే వస్తుంది. కానీ అది రాకుండా కంటిన్యూస్గా వైరాగ్యం పెట్టుకున్నామంటే then Paramatma will think. If not, విమోచితం kaha purushaha utsaheta. Devudaina sare, even if he is a god, he will not take interest or he will not be enthusiastic to relieve you and to give you moksha. Therefore, at least if you talk about Ajamila Vyakhyanam, Ajamila at least said Narayana at one time with that kind of buddhi. Therefore, utsaheta vimochitam. Which fellow will be able to give you help, extend hand. Even Shankaracharya, being on fire, he prayed Lakshmi Narasimha Swami with simple prayer. Lakshmi Nrusimhamadehi Karavalambam. Lakshmi Nrusimhamadehi Karavalimbam. He always quoted Prahlada Narada Parasara Pundarika Vyasa Ambarisha Sukha Saunaka Hrunnivasa Bhakta Anurakta Paripalana Parijata Lakshmi Nrusimhamadehi Karavalambam. See, like that, he went on praising Lakshmi Narasimha. He was the only one God who can protect when the person is in absolute danger. Lakshmi Narasimha Avataram is that. Even Krishna Avataram also equally powerful. You know, with Brahmastra, Aswathama broke the Garbha, the fighters inside the Garbha of Uttara Devi to pieces. But everybody requested in Krishna, Aya, the Pandava dynasty will end without any hire. So you must want one body. Then Krishna, with all difficulty, secured the Garbha inside the Uttara, and that was the greatest work that Krishna Avatara did it. And therefore, the birth and growth and prosperity of the boy born will be a great doubt. Whether at all is born, whether at all. That's why he was given the name as a question mark, Parikshit. Parikshit Maharaja means he has been tested at all instances and seen that he becomes, ultimately he got a bad curse, and because of that curse given by the Rishikumara, without a thought, we are getting the Bhagavatam text, etc. So here you observe, we have number of instances or examples to say that even though you have lot of property and all that, the sneha is there. Ayo, I should do it for my grandson. You know, there are people who take extra LSA policies in the name of their grandchildren also. And that's really not helping them. And I know one student father did several lakhs on LIC policy, and that student knows it. When I asked him, Baba, be attending our classes, get more marks, and I started advising the boy, he said, no, sir, please don't worry. My father has done so many lakhs for me insurance. Even if he dies or I get that lakhs of rupees, I can get on. Don't worry, sir. If that were to be the rate, how can the boy grow? That's what, because the father, afterwards the father came to me and said, then I told him, you might have love towards son, but why at all you announced it to him? He becomes bad. So because he was over enthusiastic towards his boy, Sneha pasai drurair baddha vimochitam katham utsaheta purushaha Paramatma, how at all you can think to relieve the person from clutches and give him the moksha, very, very difficult. And another point is Artha Trishna. Everybody has got the chasing towards the property, towards increasing the treasure house, bank balance. There are people who every day check their bank balance, passbook account, the bank account passbook. Oh, ishtena irodu, and every day they keep on adding. That's why it's called as Artha Trishna. And he has got to give up that Artha Trishna, Visrujet. Normally, what is Artha Trishna? Artha has got too many meanings. And Artha Trishna is actually Gariyasi. Most important among the priority wise, to attend to Bhagavata class will not be priority. It is only for very few people will get the priority. But generally, all people have got priority for their property, money making, marketing, and profit getting and all that. That's why Gariyasi. And how much Gariyasi is it? Pranebhyopi Gariyasi. Even my pranas go away, I don't matter, but I want to get it. That's what we say, Pranebhyopi Gariyasi. That Artha Trishna, or desire for getting that continuously, that will make people lose their chances to get vimochanam, chances to get shanti. And in the second line, you observe yam krinati asubhihi preshthehi. So that kind of trishna, Artha Trishna, will make the boy or the person become sportive, energetic, hopeful, expecting, and expecting happiness. Krida is sport. In Krida, people become mad. That's why Jyuta Krida, Dharmaraja became hopelessly hopeless because he loved that Jyuta Krida. That's why, and that Jyuta Krida in favor of Duryodhana, because of Sekuni, he was able to be positive. But that brought him complete annihilation. Though Dharmaraja went to forest for 13 years, but again came back safe with his brothers and wife and mother and claimed for share. And again they existed, but there was no loss much because it's a positive gain. But in case of Duryodhana, it was a negative. He lost all his 19 brothers and 11 Akshohini Sainyam, and he remained all alone ultimately. Therefore, he says that Krinati Asubhihi, they plays with their pranams. How like there is a story given that Taskaraha Sevaka Vanik, a very rich merchant, had a sincere servant, but that servant was a Taskara. He was a cheater. So he made the boss, the master, so much developed confidence in him, and ultimately at one time he robbed everything and made him pauper and feel sad about it. So even that is an example for all people. You can't trust many more servants. They look very much affectionate, more affectionate than your own kith and kin. But ultimately, at one time, they give such thing. And that happened to my brother also. A lady who came to help him in the kitchen and all, take care of him. Ultimately, after 9-10 years of taking care, she grabbed his own house because he had nobody to claim at that instance. So like that, the artha is one which will play with the life process, life journey, and keeps you open for taking birth in different variety of yonis or garbhavasas, and there is no end for that rebirth. So Prahlada is telling, no, you should put a damming. You dam that. You stop the rebirth chance and try to take moksham, to give which Paramatma is ready. So Bhagavatottama, become a Bhagavata, Uttama Bhagavata, then Krishna will take hold of you in all respects and give you moksham. That's why the Rakshasa students or Rakshasa colleagues of Prahlada are being advised in this manner. And in fact, when all gods and Narasimha Swami asked Prahlada, well, your father is done, your work is done, you come back to Vaikuntha with me, let us go. Then Prahlada, as a typical king and a prince, he said, no, sir, I cannot come to Vaikuntham or anything like that. You killed only Prahlada, my father, who is the worst behavior. But his friends are there, thousands of them in the city, in the kingdom. I must take some time to reform all of them and see that instead of Hiranya Kashyap Bhakti, Vishnu Bhakti is established and promoted in my kingdom. Until then, I will not come. That was the move by Prahlada, and therefore, even today, among Vishnu Bhaktas, Prahlada's name begins first. So Prahlada, Vibhishanaha, and then Ambarishaha. So Prahlada is a Rakshasa boy. And also Vibhishana is a Rakshasa grown up. Prahlada was a boy and Vibhishana was a grown up Rakshasa, but still they ranked high distinction among the Vishnu Bhaktas. And so whenever we do puja, we give our first tirtham and all worship to remembrance to these two fellows. Even among the Shiva Bhaktas, Bana, Ravana, Chandi. Chandi, of course, is the Bhutagana. But before Chandi is mentioned, Bana Asura and Ravana Asura are the top Shiva Bhaktas. So though they live a life of Rakshasa, ultimately, due to their devotion, though they bring ruin for their own pranas because of their adharmic behavior, ultimately they are enlisted as the best bhaktas of all. So this is what our Bhagavatam is going to tell. So yogarato va bhogarato va yo vako va bhava brahmani ratah. Then if you are interested in Brahma, you are really, really benefiting, putting a stoppage for the cycle of the rebirth to stop or not to proceed further. And in this janma only, you should get rahitya, punarjanma rahitya. And even among birds, you must have observed. See, in the temples, at the tirtham flowing down outside the Garbhagudi, some birds will come in and chirping and drinking the tirtham. Who tells the bird to come and fly, stay there and drink the tirtham, abhishekam done for the gods in the temple inside the Garbhagudi? You observe, you must have observed. So the janma, each janma, if it has got that kind of samskara, is really enough eligible to get direct moksham, taking bypass from Naraka and all those problems. And that's what is the thesis of Prahlada when he's trying to advise to all his colleagues and student friends and all that. And that we are doing it. I think it's high time for you. We will meet again at the same time next time 9:30, because we are going for all early means okay, but 9:30 to half an hour, because we Ratha Saptami next Sunday. Pardon? That is on 6th is Sunday, and that